Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome again to my podcast, Snacks Thoughts. I said again, welcome to my podcast, Snacks Thoughts. And what is my thought for the night? Well, as many of you know, there have been the moratoriums that are coming to a close. And obviously we know that President Biden signed the moratoriums for at least another 30 days. But supposedly this will be the last one. And they're saying that there's no more stimulus coming. So they're going to basically try to get people back to work, I guess, to get this economy back on track. So I guess for this one, I would call it the squeeze is on, landlord or tenant. And I'll say it again, the squeeze is on landlord or tenant. And so where am I coming from with this? Well, if you look at it, you know that you have the moratoriums for people that were unable to pay their mortgages or their rents. And many of them have, not all, but many have fallen behind. And so what you have here is like a ripple effect or a domino effect. So because the tenants haven't been able to pay their rent and they're backed up, what that does, that affects the landlord, because now the landlord can't pay their mortgage to the bank. And it's just, whether they have a house or not, and the bank doesn't want to get stuck with all of these houses, going into whatever foreclosure, or maybe if they can even short sell them. But the bank doesn't want to get left holding the bag. And so you throw into the mix also that with people losing their homes, now you have these big corporations that are buying up a bunch of houses. And so what their intent is to raise to rent them out and raise the rent on them. And so what they're doing is they're squeezing the regular or middle class or retail guy out, so that they won't be able to afford to buy a house, if you're competing with a big corporation. I mean, it's impossible. You can't compete with a corporation like IBM that's buying up, a couple of blocks of houses. It's impossible, So you have a squeeze that's going on, and it's no big secret. We know that there is a real estate bubble, and this one, we thought 2007, 2008 was bad. And this is 4.0 on steroids, But you have pressure on both the tenant, and the landlord, because the landlord has bills also. And what has happened is that supposedly they're supposed to had released this money that they gave to the states to give to tenants, and also, I believe, to landlords, so that both parties can be able to pay their mortgage or their rent. But for some reason, these states haven't issued out these finances yet. And so you have the renter being pushed out to the street, and you have the landlord basically being pushed out, of ownership, of their rental property. So what you have a squeeze, because the bank, definitely wants their money. And one way or another, the bank is going to come out on top, because the bank is part of the system. Or if you want to say, like in Vegas, if you have a casino, or Atlantic City, the house always wins. And the big banks and the lending institutions, they are part of the system. And so the rules are set for them and big corporations to win, even if it comes to a point to bailouts. It's no secret, we now know who the feds and the government cares about. They care about Wall Street and the filthy rich. They refuse to let Wall Street go down, and they refuse to let these big businesses go down, even though many of them, they failed. And so they basically have killed the middle class. And I mean, they just tore this economy up. And so you had the government stepping in, giving this stimulus, and now certain businesses are having a hard time getting employees to come back to work. United, I think it was United Airlines. I think they canceled 400 flights or something like that. because they didn't have enough employees. They won't come back, and can you really blame them? If they were making less money, but your government told you to stay home and they paid you more than what you were making, why would you bother going back? And remember, this thing has lasted for a long time, and we're coming out of it, but it's still not completely over. But you have a squeeze. So what do? Who do you go with? Landlord or tenant? Because these landlords, they can't afford to keep allowing tenants to remain in these rental properties and not paying. Basically these tenants are squatting. And I know it's a tough deal because some of these are single parents, they got kids and stuff like that, but they don't care. I mean, they're pushing parents with kids out and they got to sleep in their cars. I mean, it's getting really crazy, and if the federal government has given these states the money, then these states, they need to, the governors or whatever like that, they need to release that money and let these people pay their rent, and also let these landlords be able to keep their rental property. It's unfortunate and it's unfair. But you see that the elite rich and the big businesses in Wall Street is being supported and held up, whereas the middle class or retail person, all the way down to the poor, they are being destroyed and wiped out. But yeah, it's something else. But President Biden has extended the moratorium for another 30 days, and after that, if they don't get that money kicked out, the homeless situation is really bad in America right now, and it's increasing every day. And if they don't, in the next 30 days, there's going to be millions that are going to be on the streets, sleeping in their vehicles. It's a shame. This is supposed to be the richest country in the world, and it is sad that they cannot take better care of their citizens. How about that, guys? But yeah, so we have a dilemma, landlord, or tenant, which one? But the squeeze is on. So, I'm quite sure, like myself, you'll be watching to keep up and, see how this thing plays out. But I hope that they get that funding so that these people can pay their mortgages and rents, and, and so people that own their homes, they can keep them. And, people that own rental properties, that they can keep their properties, because these people, they worked hard for what they got, and they should not lose it to circumstances that wasn't their fault. And it's the same thing for those that are renting. If for something that's not their fault, they should not be put out to the street. And even so, with the wealth that this country has, there shouldn't be anybody going hungry or in the street, to be honest. And there's a bunch of other countries that put us to shame and how they took care of their people. But anyway, that's all I have for this one, guys. But again, the name of this title for this episode would be The Squeeze is On, Landlord or Tenant. And I thank you guys for listening and hanging out with me. And the name of this podcast is Snack Thoughts. That's SNAKZTHOUGHTS. And you can find me on Anchor, Spotify, Spreaker, SoundCloud, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Listen Radio PBM, and a host of other social media platforms. So please subscribe to Snack Thoughts and share it, push it out. I also have a YouTube channel, Eric Broadus YouTube. That's ERICBROADUS YouTube, Eric Broadus YouTube. And so please go over there and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Smash that bell to become a subscriber. Smash the like button. Leave comments. If you don't like the videos, then you can unlike it also and leave a comment. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But push it out and share it. Snack Thoughts and Eric Broadus YouTube. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. But that's all I have on this one, guys. And I'll be coming out with some more content on the YouTube channel. So sit tight and stay tuned. But thanks, guys. Have a great weekend and be safe. All right? Peace out.